proper facilities, welfare facilities are arranged for the women employees. And kids are allowed to stay with the mother, but the kids should not be carried to the workplace. We have to arrange special craze, and one caretaker lady should be arranged to take care of these kids whenever their mother is going for work. Most of the people are apprehensive, what will if any accident happens to me, what if I will meet on a fatal accidents, what will happen to. So we have to clear cut mention what are the statutory provisions for this workmen, whether we are having workmen compensation, what are the benefits they are going to get under employee dependent insurance. All these things should be clear cut mentioned to the laborers to clear all the cobwebs regarding all the apprehensions regarding the labor mobilization, and it will be win-win situation both for the labor and for us also. Once they will be clearly know about the statutes and the benefits they are going to get, they will be more keen to stay with our organization. Okay. After reaching the site, the workman doesn't waste a single day sitting idle in the site. Altogether, they want to go to site and start working from the day they reach the site. Believe me, it is very tedious to get all the workmen screened before engaging into work. They should be properly screened. They should be inducted properly. They should know issued the PPs. They should be issued the identity cards before engagement. And many workmen apprehensive about this. Sir, I am skilled. I am unskilled. I am a fitter. I am a semi-fitter. I am a helper. So one skill assessment should be done by competent authority to assess the skills, and his wages rate should be fixed as per his skill category and as per the work he is going to be engaged. PPs, all the workmen should be provided free of cost PPs by the company. If the PPs are issued on chargeable basis, the rate should be included in the labor rate itself while analyzing the labor rates by the planning department. Many times people are apprehensive about the bath facility, drinking water facility, the kitchen areas, all should be there. We should provide all these things. Weekly food advance, as I said. People are apprehensive timely payment, whether sir payment time पे होगा कि नहीं होगा, कौन सा तारीख को होता है. All the things are being asked by the laborers, and we should ensure that we should pay them timely, and and proper amount of payment are fixed as per the we have to comply minimum wages act, payment of wages act. ठीक है, and we have to ensure that the laborers are signing the wages sheets as an acknowledgement of amount of payment they are getting paid. We should not be dependent upon the contractors. There should be a witness from the company side. He should witness the payment that has been disbursed to the laborers. Another thing, formatting conveyance from. Sometimes the labor hotmans are not being viable. As I have said, in each work location, labor hotmans cannot be placed. So if it is farther from the work location, we have to arrange conveyance modes from the laborers. Be it 407, some utility vehicle that should be deployed for commuting these laborers from their camps to the work location. Drinking water, we have to provide adequate drinking water. If work is being done in night, we should arrange enough illumination for them. And there should be dedicated safety officers who will be taking care of their facilities as per Building and Other Construction Workmen Act. So these are the expectations versus our responsibility during their stay in the project. Now comes the last stage, that is expectation while demobilization. So we must take enough care for laborers during demobilization also. So if the laborers are getting demobilized today, tomorrow we may call them. So they should have a very good and pleasant experience about our organization, our company, our working culture, so that they will come back again. For example, all their dues must be clear. no harassment from house owners, the labor camp owners. Stored where most of the time the laborers are moving around and around with store departments for their reconciliation. That is not a good sign. That is not good for the organization and good for the workman and employer relationship. Forms for testimonial benefit must be filled up like PF withdrawal form, bonus, if bonus payable should, his full and final should be settled. If while negotiating with the laborers, I mean those people who regular supply workmen, I mean those, sometimes what happens na, we take some laborers in our contractor roles and in for regular supply work. Those workmen needs to be paid their bonus, their leave wages and all the things. So we have to take care that laborers are getting paid by them. Definitely, if we are parting ways with these laborers, we are expecting that he or they will come back once we call them. Okay. What statutory infrastructure we should possess to facilitate laborers? First of all, foremost thing, as a EPC contractor, we must have a labor license for all workmen engaged under our company. So labor license should be in our scope only. Pre-employment medical checkup for each workman is mandatory because the labor should not carry any pre-existing diseases. And for drivers, specially test for color blindness should be done. And as a testimonial, apart from Aadhaar card, driving license is a mandatory for these drivers. Proper skill test by competent engineer or manager should be done for each workman. Like the person who is going to operate a hydra or operate a crane must be tested by a P&M officer, and he should be issued a competency certificate. In most of the projects right now, we are capturing the real-time data of the workmen. The mode is different. We are installing biometric machine. There is a software called ECMS that has been implemented in some of the infrastructure sites. In a software, all the data, his Aadhaar card, his date of birth, his family details, his contact details, emergency contact numbers, all these things are captured, so that duplication and reproduction data is easily can be done. And this data is very crucial and is required for availing WC facility, EDLA facility, his PF and all those things. We should issue valid identity proof to each and every workman who is working in our organization. And the ID card should have a valid date of expiry. No ID card should be issued for a date without a date limit. Because if the person is carrying that ID cards and is no more working in our organization, if something happens to them, so we may get harassed unnecessarily by the statutory bodies. We may face police inquiry and all those things. The ID card should carry a date of exit also. BOCW registration is mandatory for our establishment, and the beneficiary registration for eligible workmen should be done by us. Ensures laborers are signing the pay sheets and are distributed the EPF contribution slips, all those things timeline. Now, in what happens in the linear project, what challenges we face during labor mobilization? Most of the time there is no proper communication by engineer to gang before their mobilization. Gang leaders knows nothing what he should carry, what he should not carry, whether these 14 years, 15 years are allowed or not allowed, whether they should carry their wife with along them. The engineers directly call the laborers and they come with a blank face, and unnecessarily they get harassed to send back their wives, their children, persons without ID cards and all those things. So, most of the times they come up with fabricated Aadhaar cards. Okay. So Aadhaar card is mandatory for PF compliances, and with fabricated Aadhaar cards his identity card cannot be produced, his PF account cannot be produced, and the compliance will not be done. So that is a problem. Most of the laborers are telling that we don't have a bank account. If they don't have a bank account, then their Aadhaar, EPF account cannot be, the KYC will not be completed. So when they will be leaving the organization, so withdrawal of money will be tedious. And we are getting reminders for this EPFO regarding the completion of this KYC every now and then, and so bank account is a must. Now we are moving to the next section, that is the welfare facility that has to be provided in a linear project to the workmen. So labor apartments are constructed at the vicinity of base camps with standard facility as per BOCW. So in a linear project there are many base camps. Suppose in a stretch of 175 kilometers of railway project or 200 kilometers of road project, there should be 2 to 3 base camps. So laborers are categorized, these base camps are selected so that conveyance and facilitation will be easier. And that's why some labor camps are with pre-planned, approved as per the standard of USW. In a different session, I will tell about you about all these USW standards for construction of labor camps, what facilities should be provided, like fast aiders to be provided, drinking water provision should be there, kitchen should be there, bath facility should be there, exact how much square feet area to be provided for each workman. It is all mentioned in that one, and it is a standard. Each reputed companies like Larsen & Toubro, Tata Projects Limited, they have their own standards and they have to fulfill it. Okay, so labor apartments are constructed at the vicinity of base camps with standard facilities as per BOCW. If there is much more number of people, if we are going to accommodate more than 100 to 200 laborers, then we have to construct our own labor camps. If the number of laborers are less than 20 and it is farther from the base camps, then we will search rented accommodation for them. And sometimes what happens, we arrange some portable cabins that can accommodate 15 to 20 laborers. And if that is not available, also we go for camps, tents. But make sure that it is properly, all the fire extinguishers, firefighting tools, all the pest controls like carbolic acids and all those things are properly placed in and around these labor camps for better sanitization and better hygiene facility of the workmen. Okay, kitchen area should be there, and it should be not inside the living room. Most of the time what happens, these labor apartments catches fire. So these valuable lives get wasted due to this misarrangement. Sometimes people arrange kitchen facility inside the living room with a small stove or some biofuels. That is not good. That is not expected from a reputed company and a reputed organization. We should ensure 24 hours water facility. You just imagine if the laborers are coming after a day long walk and they are not getting water to get proper bath facility, how will be they feeling? So it's inhuman, and it's not as per the statute also. So we ensure that proper bath facility with water connection is available in the labor camps. Drinking water facility, whether potable water, or we may install RO for these laborers to take drinking water. In linear sites where the work sites are some 2 kilometers away, 3 kilometers away, utility vans are given. They have drum, some water cans of 20 liter water cans or 25 liter water cans. They can put these water cans to their work location. They have drinking water facility. In each work location, their rest should take rest for 10 to 15 people should be arranged. It should be properly roofed with corrugated seats. Sometimes you will watch some tin seats are being placed and it is termed as rest shed. That is not the rest shed. The rest shed should have a standing fan, and it should have some chairs. It should have properly shaded with corrugated seat. That should be arranged. Hospitals should be tied up. If in a linear project which is maximum run by earth movers, cranes, highways, dumpers, so there is a possible case of casualties, and in the case of casualties or accidents, we have to immediately carry them to the nearby hospitals. So within every 10 kilometer span or 15 kilometer span, we should have a hospital tied up. We should have a resident doctor available who can visit places and check the carry the health checkups. Medical camps should be arranged. First aider should randomly check the health condition of each and every worker. He should go to the labor camps and have talks about AIDS awareness, dengue prevention, malaria prevention, and all those things. So that's all about the welfare facilities we are expecting for a laborers. Now the challenges. Challenges what happens in a linear project. Lot of time is being consumed while porting the laborers from the camps to the. Okay, if the work collection is situated inside a jungle, we cannot place our people inside the jungle, and the livable place is some 10 kilometers away, 15 kilometers away. We have to port them by vehicles. Sometimes the vehicles get broken down. Sometimes on-time traffic is there. Any issues. So these are the problems. Sometimes we place some people in the rented accommodation and we get complaints about the laborers from the localites. Like these people are taking gutka, they are taking daru inside labor camps. They are not maintaining hygiene and all those things. So we have to deal with it. And we have to convince, schedule the localites. We have to educate our workmen. We have to make them more professional and livable inside the society. We should educate them about the social etiquettes. Okay. Sometimes what happens, there is no hospital within 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers range. In that case, what do we have to do? We have to train our people, our stewards about the basic first aid trainings, so that they will be available in the site and they will deal with the people. Most of the cases, the corrugated shed, rest shed that I have talked about, we are placed a rest shed. The next day we are going to the site and we will not get that rest shed. People it may get stolen, it may blown up by air, anything can happen. Regular malfunction of portable toilets. These portable toilets, they have a very pathetic lifespan. It cannot last more than 6 months or 7 months. So we have to replace them, and we get them repaired at regular interval. So that people will not face problems in availing the benefits. Welfare facilities. So guys, with this we have come to the end of this presentation. I hope I have made justice to give here some clear-cut idea, the minimum guidelines that should be followed while mobilizing labor to the organization. These laborers are the backbone for any company. In present scenarios, people are moving like anything. They are taking any steps to the reverse migration of laborers from village areas to town areas. 3 months back, 4 months back, in the month of March and April, the migration happened from the urban areas, from the industrial areas, from the project sites towards the villages, which is the actual work, residence place of this workmen. People have worked miles. People are being ported through all the illegal and you cannot imagine the kind of mode of transport they have used. To many accidents have happened during the places. Now people are again getting settled and they are coming back to workplaces. So we should welcome them with folded hands, with all the benefits, and definitely all of us must provide them these sanitizers and we must avail them these marks. We should educate them about proper maintenance of personal hygienes. And definitely quarantine facility is a must for any person who is getting mobilized to the site. As per the state government, forget about state government and the central government rules. It is a need of the hour. We have to ensure. So thank you all. I will come with another presentation in the next session. Till then, namaskar, subratri, good night.